Okay, I can't avoid it. I try to avoid it. Oh my God. God knows I have tried to avoid this topic because this topic disgusts me in so many ways. Not because the man himself was pretty disgusting. The actual meaning of the word disgusting is carried by our friend Jeffrey Epstein, our friend. I use that facetiously, our friend Jeffrey Epstein. But inevitably, I had to tackle this topic on Ralph Romeo TV, if you don't mind. Okay, can I talk honestly? I guess this forum is all about honesty when it comes down to it. Can I talk honestly about this man, this non-entity, Jeffrey Epstein? Can I tell you my true thoughts about this individual and what he's done to present day society, actually to present day MAGA? I'm not a big MAGA guy, not necessarily. I'm a true independent, but MAGA is being torn to shreds by a guy who's passed away a relatively long time ago. I'm convinced he hanged himself in the cell. Nobody came in to kill the guy. He actually hanged himself in the cell. That's where I'm coming from when it comes to his demise, if that means anything. But more importantly, with this guy, I mean, this is such a topic constantly. And there are people out there who want to speak of nothing else but this tedious topic. I cannot stand it anymore. This man was a reprehensible character who did so much harm, I guess, to so many people, I guess, to so many victims, I guess. I say I guess because people like this recruit people that actually want to be involved in this sort of nefarious action. They don't necessarily coerce, or not always, they don't coerce or trick. They don't use chicanery necessarily. The people that wanted to get involved with Epstein, whether it be people that of note, of notoriety, maybe the political gurus at the time, the big shots in the political arena at the time, whether you're talking about those people or other people that can see themselves making a good deal of money with Jeffrey Epstein, whoever it was, usually voluntarily got involved with this creep. This creep had no trouble recruiting people all over the globe. I'm not talking about the confines of the United States of America necessarily. I'm not talking about just us. I'm talking about the global influence this hotshot was. Now, here we are, years later, where we're supposedly have a semblance of sanity here in 2025. I don't see it. Now we are so transfixed on this monster from the past, we cannot get out of our own way. And here's the thing that I heard just today, very interesting tidbit about Jeffrey Epstein. I heard he had a little wiener about this big. Now, there are great people with wieners this big, myself not included. I'm neither great nor have a wiener this big, but there are great people with wieners this big. And they have a complex of some kind. They have a sexual deviancy and also sometimes a complex. Not always, not in every case. I understand I'm not talking in broad terms necessarily, but the whole thing, they say, was centered upon his rather tiny little spendrick, his little penis. But I don't buy into that. I just thought it was kind of funny that they're coming out with this, years after they had a little dick. So that's the reason why he acts the way he acted, the way he acted. I'm not quite sure about all that, but I thought it was a funny side note that I would bring you on today, just for the hell of it. But the whole thing, I mean, my goodness gracious. As I mentioned before, my feelings on this are unusual because most people see everybody involved as victims, whether it be the young girls that got involved or the older women that got involved. There are plenty of older of age women that were involved with Epstein during his reign, during his heyday. Many of these people, they weren't victimized into going in with him. And Bill Clinton was not a victim of Jeffrey Epstein. Now, Bill Clinton actually denies any involvement. I heard that today or yesterday also, any involvement with Jeffrey Epstein. I take that with that proverbial grain of salt. I'm not quite sure, but I will tell you this, all the bigwigs that got involved, they voluntarily knew what they were getting into for the most part. There are some that probably got reeled in without knowing fully what they were getting into. But all these hangers on of Epstein were in it for the sex, were in it for the good times, were in it for the thrill, for the orgasm, if you will. And they, what sex, ask Freud, he'll tell you, sex is the biggest driving component that the world has ever known, that man has ever known. So, of course, the sexual drive is all consuming, that these people were just in it because of exactly what I just said, pretty much the orgasm and the excitement. So there are no victims involved, considering the age of these people that were involved, and also considering the place that they held in society. So Jeffrey Epstein did something. He was a businessman. He did something that other businessmen do. He cheated, he connived, he took advantage, he emasculated also his victims from time to time, talking about the males. He victimized others, yes. He did all these things, all these things. He did it so well. He became a psychologist, actually, and did it very, very well. But again, we're still on it. We're still obsessed. And the Congress people, Marjorie Taylor Greene, others, I can't remember who is so obsessed with the Epstein situation. I cannot remember them by name except for Marjorie Taylor Greene and some others. These fools, they won't let it go. And they're destroying their whole party, their whole movement. Better put, their movement is going down the tubes because of one Jeffrey Epstein. I don't care, nor should you care about this dead man. This man is dead and gone. He's buried. He was a nothing. Nothing. He served to improve humanity on no level. None whatsoever. He is the non-entity that I say he is. But we can't get it out of our psyches. We can't go about our business because this thing has become a noose around our necks. Jeffrey Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Jeffrey Epstein. Now, I don't want to run down that rabbit hole that many people run down. We're just, giving him a fond farewell by screaming and saying, forget him, forget him, forget him, because that's not exactly very intelligent on my part if I would go down that road. So let me try to talk a little bit more intelligently about the whole thing. Think about a guy who did what many, many men of lesser note have done. Think about a guy gaining all this notoriety and having such an impact on very influential folks years and years after his heyday, years after his demise. Think about it. Think how idiotic Americans are. And I'm talking about the bigwigs in Washington, the ones that can't let it go. Think about how idiotic they are by holding on to this and destroying themselves from within. It's so absurd, I can't get over it. Now, when I think about the whole charade of these that are trying to take President Trump down, I think of many reasons you could take Trump down other than this. There are many other things you could blame on Trump, who isn't perfect, folks. Far from perfect. From a scale from 1 to 10, I'll give him a 5 so far in his presidency. Why do I say a 5? Not because I have Trump derangement syndrome, like many say. No, not because of that. Because of the economy. Because we can't find a job out here. Because we go into the grocery store and drop a king's ransom at a moment's notice, buying the basics. People are not employed. People are, foreigners are taking our jobs. Foreigners from all different countries, third world and otherwise, are taking good old-fashioned American jobs. There are some American jobs that Americans just won't do. And the illegals step in and they do it quite well. I mean, nobody's picking whatever they're picking in Florida in the hot sun in the middle of August. No American worker is actually picking fruit off of a tree the way an illegal will pick fruit off of a tree in Florida in the middle of August. So, that kind of is, understandable. But, the other jobs and the jobs that are actually traditionally Americans' jobs, they're being swiped. And Donald Trump doesn't care about that. That's not part of his agenda. Donald Trump is outsourcing many American jobs, and people just can't get work. So he's failed on several fronts. That's why I say I'll give him a 5. Getting back to Epstein, Trump ran from this issue from the start. As soon as reporters got a bug up their ass and they started to keep on harping on the Epstein thing, and then they would ask Trump unexpectedly during press conferences about this Epstein thing. And this Epstein thing became a thing. Trump initially reacted horribly, terribly. He said, it doesn't mean anything. We have bigger fish to fry. Why are we focusing on that? That was the start, or not the start. That was the nail in the coffin, so to speak, with this issue. That was Trump's downfall when it comes to this issue. That's why they're trying to put Trump, just maybe they have a photo of Epstein and Trump together, which takes place anytime, any place. I mean, people are caught in photos with nefarious people all the time. That means nothing, but it means something. It means a great deal to conspiracy theorists when the president runs from the whole situation, which he has. Just recently, because of intense pressure, has he said, we have to investigate this. We have to investigate this. Do you think that Trump wanted to investigate this? Do you think he had any inkling investigating this thing? He wanted to run. He wanted to scurry away from this issue, which he did time and time again. And that was his big mistake. You got to confront it. He plays like he confronts everything. You say he's fearless. You say he's brave, courageous, so on and so forth. He ran from this issue. He wanted no part of this issue. Now he's changed his tune. Now he says we have to investigate. We have to investigate. I wish I could do a good Trump imitation. That's one I can't do. And we have to investigate. I'll tell you something. They're not going to investigate. They're not going to investigate anything. This thing's going to be left undone. Just the way the Guess Who made that record undone in 1968. This whole thing is going to be left undone till the end of time. You are never going to know the exploits in full of Jeffrey Epstein. You are never going to know whether Trump has had more to do with it than he admits. You're never going to know whether any of these big shots had anything to do with this guy more so than they admit, or they run from, or they deny. You're not going to know. It's mental masturbation, folks. And I'll tell you, it is sickening. But then again, I would have no fodder. I would have no material for this little dissertation of mine. Anyway, are you staying in shape? Are you doing your due diligence, and you're getting to the gym, you're getting outdoors, you're working resistance, cardio, flexibility? Are you doing the whole thing? I just thought I'd ask. Because soon I'm going to go back. I'm going to mix some of these videos along with my very popular exercise videos. Going to have some great guests here on Ralph Romeo TV. So please subscribe. I'm asking if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Please like the video if you like the video, of course, and comment down below, good or bad. I really appreciate it. And again, when you become like obsessed with this Epstein thing, try to think of me. Try to think of me trying to talk some sense into you. That's the way I see it anyway. You know, that's just where I'm coming from. Who knows? Who knows? And like I said, we'll get to the exercise videos very soon. I got to show up once in a while. Take it easy. See you tomorrow.